Chapter 7, Section 3, Multiplying Powers with the Same Base, Part 2. Okay, today we're going to multiply numbers that are in scientific notation. Okay, the most important thing to remember is that a number written in scientific notation is just a single number. So even though it's written like it's a 3 and a 10 to the 5th, that really represents just one larger number. So we're not actually distributing, we're just multiplying, kind of like we were yesterday. So if I'm going to simplify these, I'm really going to take out these first numbers and multiply those together. And then the tens are always going to be the same base, so we're just going to add together the exponents. Okay, once you have that much, you have to look to make sure that it's actually in proper scientific notation, and if it's not, we're going to have to move decimals and add or subtract onto our exponents like we did in 7.2. Okay, so let's look at this number 3 here at the bottom. We're going to start by multiplying 7 times 4. Then we have the 10 with the added exponents. Okay, so we're going to have 28 times 10 to the 13th power. Okay, but because 28 is not between 1 and 10, like we're looking for, we're going to move our decimal place 1 to the left, which means I have to add 1 to my exponent, and our final answer will be 2.8 times 10 to the 14th. Okay, we're going to try it again with this one at the top. We're going to start by multiplying the 5 and the 6, which gives us 30 times 10. Then we're going to add 6 plus negative 10, which gives us a negative 4. Okay, this is not between 1 and 10, so we're going to move our decimal 1 place to the left again. And we're going to add 1 here to get us the final answer of 3 times 10 to the negative 3rd. Okay, these bottom two here are also not in your notes, but we're going to try them just for your benefit. We're going to multiply negative 3 times positive 3, which gives me negative 9, times 10 to the 8 plus negative 5 is 3. And this is a number between 1 and 10. So we are done. Okay, then we're going to multiply the 2 tenths times 9 tenths, which gives me 18 100ths, times 10 to the negative 8. Okay, and this is not between, was not between 1 and 10. So we're going to move our our decimal 1 place to the right this time, actually. So we will have 1.8 times 10, and then because I moved to the right, I actually need to subtract 1, so to the negative 9th. All right, then they're going to switch it up on us and give us some word problems. The speed of light is about 3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. How far would a beam of light travel in 8.64 times 10 to the 4th seconds, which is actually equivalent to a day? Now, these numbers are kind of confusing, so let's think about it this way. If you could run 1 mile per second, and I gave you 5 seconds, how many miles could you run? Well, you'd have to multiply 1 times 5. This is exactly what they're doing. So what they want us to do is multiply 3 times 10 to the 8th by 8.64 times 10 to the 4th. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply 3 times 8.64, and that's going to get us 25.92 times 10 to the adding 8 and 4 gives me 12. Now the only problem is that 25.92 is not between 1 and 10. So we have to move our decimal 1 place to the left, which makes me add on to my exponent, giving me 2.592 times 10 to the 13th meters. Okay, the next things in your note packet are these finding the area. Okay, to find the area of a rectangle, we need to do length times the width. So we have 2x times 3x minus 3. Okay, another thing to remember is that if there is no exponent showing, it's just a 1. So when I distribute this, I have 2x to the first times 3x to the first. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 3 to get the 6. Then on my x's, because they're the same base, I'm going to add the exponents. 1 plus 1 is 2. Then I'm going to distribute to this. So 2x times a negative 3 is negative 6x. That's your final answer for the area of this rectangle. Okay, the last one in your notes should look like this. And in case you don't remember, the area of a triangle is the base times the height divided by 2. So we're going to take 4x times 5x plus 1, all divided by 2. When I distribute, 4x times 5x gets me 20x to the second power. 4x times 1 is just 4x. I still have this divided by 2. Okay, so now I am able to actually divide out just the number parts. 20 divided by 2 and 4 divided by 2, which will give me a final answer of 10x to the second plus 2x. All right, that ends part 2 of 7.3 multiplying powers with the same base.